Once again, we're here at the McVeigh Law Firm. I'm with Lee McVeigh. And Lee, we're talking about a subject that actually a lot of folks are going through and go through each day is probate. And let's talk about what exactly is probate.
So probate, we get a lot of questions about that here. And probate, very simply, is the process of transferring title from somebody that's passed away to their heirs or whoever they've named in a will. And there are some assets that don't necessarily need to go through probate, and that's what probate is, though. We're trying to transfer these assets. Somebody's passed away, and we're trying to make sure that their assets are transferred to their heirs.
Why is there a need to go through probate?
Well, there could be a number of reasons that you need to go through probate. Many assets on their own will transfer outside of probate. So, for instance, your retirement accounts, bank accounts, things like that, life insurance, a lot of those will have beneficiaries designated on those. And when there's a beneficiary designated on an asset, you don't have to go through probate. And that's something that people don't realize a whole lot, is that if those beneficiaries are on there, then we can avoid having to go through probate with those assets. However, what happens in a lot of cases is there won't be a beneficiary named on there, or we won't have any kind of survivor provision on an asset. The most common is real estate, where we'll have a house that they might have been owned by parents. When the first parent passes away, it automatically passes to the surviving parent. No need for probate there. But when the second parent passes away, now we have to go through probate to make sure that that real estate gets transferred down to whoever the heirs are in the will.
And how long normally, it varies, I know, but how long normally does probate take?
Well, the answer I give is, as I call it, the lawyer answer, which is it depends. If we're just dealing with a house, there are certain types of probate we can do in Tennessee that allow for a very short probate process. A lot of times it's a matter of getting a death certificate in, there's a little bit of paperwork to fill out, and we can transfer that real estate over. In other cases, it can take 6 to 9 months, assuming everything goes smoothly, to get probate taken care of, because there's a waiting period that we've got to go through to make sure that that creditors don't, no creditors pop up or anything like that. So I tell people, if everything's running smoothly, you're probably looking at about 6 to 9 months. And then, of course, if we have wills that are contested and things like that, which is a fairly rare occurrence, but if that happens, obviously it can drag it out for a really long time.
So what advice do you give people that are going through the probate process? What things do they need to know? You've got the answers, so the best thing is just come see you.
Right, so we offer a free consultation for probate, and what we do is we'll sit down with people, and there's been times we've sat down with people and they don't have to go through probate. Their parent or sibling or whoever we're talking about may have set up everything with beneficiary designations, and I can tell them, just take the death certificate, go to the bank, go to the investment place, wherever that is, and they'll transfer those funds directly to you. And then, we sit down and we go through each and every asset that we know of. The other question I get a lot is, how do I know? How do I know what the assets are? And I will tell people generally just to monitor the mail, look back through bank statements, see what was going out of the bank statement, see what was coming into the bank statement, and that gives you a pretty good idea of what other assets are out there to go through. But we'll sit down, look at each asset that we think we have listed, and figure out, okay, will this need to go through probate? And then we'll just go kind of down the list, and it's always a good day for them when I say, yep, there's no need to go through probate. But if they do, then we can sit down and go step by step through the process with them.
All right. Thank you so much. Great advice. Great information. He's full of great information. You just need to come see him. If you've got questions about probate, estate planning, whatever your questions are, Lee McVeigh here at the McVeigh Law Firm can take care of any of those questions and get you the answers that you need. The preceding portion of Daytime was brought to you by